Deep in the wilderness, a man stumbled upon a frail, aging cougar, alone, injured, and abandoned by its pack. Driven by instinct and compassion, he chose to help, unaware of the chain of events he was about to set in motion. What followed was something no one, especially him, could have ever predicted. She looked dead. That was Ryan's first thought. He was 3 miles out from home, near West Ridge, the place with that narrow gully where spring runoff carved deep veins into the clay. Every year, the forest around that area carried the thick, musky scent of wet moss and rotting leaves. He'd been gathering branches for kindling when he saw her, just a heap of fur, bones, and dried blood, slumped like a discarded rug between two stumps. She didn't move. He stopped 10 feet away and crouched low. Her face had that vacant, distant stillness, ribs jutting out like broken umbrella spokes, eyes half-lidded and cloudy. Her side was torn, as if something had clawed through her and never finished the job. Every instinct told him to turn around, walk away. This wasn't some lost dog. A dying cougar wasn't something you messed with. Not out here. There were rules in the wilderness, and one of them was simple: don't get involved. But something felt different. Off, not just about her, but about him too. She was old. That much was clear in her sagging skin, her dull coat, and her torn, ragged ears. Her breathing, if it existed, was shallow, ghostly. Around her, the signs were unmistakable. Tracks circled the space. Other cougars. Younger, stronger. One had pissed on a nearby rock, staking territory. They'd driven her out, maybe worse. And maybe it was a pity, maybe guilt, maybe the kind of loneliness that grew teeth after 5 years alone, post-divorce, talking more to trees than people. Something in Ryan cracked. He dropped the sticks, stripped off his coat, and approached slowly. Still, she didn't stir. "You're still in there?" he asked aloud, his voice barely more than a breath. Her flank was warm, barely. He slid the coat under her ribs and looped it into a kind of makeshift stretcher. When he lifted, she groaned, a deep, guttural sound. Not pain, not fear, just resignation. She weighed barely 60 pounds now, maybe less. He carried her in shifts, switching sides, resting every 100 yards, fighting through exhaustion and doubt the entire way. She never struggled, just kept breathing barely. He laid her in the bed of his truck on an old tarp, covered her with a blanket, and shut the gate. He sat behind the wheel for a long time, staring, questioning everything. Repairs still need to be done at the cabin. The heater was shot. He had no money for a vet, and yet he couldn't leave her, so he turned the key, drove home. That first night, he was sure she'd die. She didn't move, barely breathed. He laid her out on some moving blankets in a dry corner of the garage and put a space heater nearby. He sat with her like a fool, waiting for something. Anything. The second day was the same. He offered ground liver, raw beef, cracked eggs, placed the bowl by her snout. No sniff, no growl. Flies came. He rigged up a net. That night, she pissed herself, couldn't even move. The smell hit hard, bitter and sour. He cleaned it up with bleach and old towels, gagging the whole time. Slept beside her in a lawn chair, his back aching, the cold settling into his bones. But every time he tried to walk out of the garage, something pulled him back. It felt wrong to leave her alone. On the third day, her wound began to leak. He used what little he had: gauze, tape, and hydrogen peroxide. She flinched just once, but that tiny movement kept him going. He dug out his ex-wife's old books, wildlife rehab guides, dog first aid manuals. Maya would have known what to do. She was good with animals, believed in silence over words, connection over commands. Ryan never used to believe in that, but now he was trying. By the 5th day, he hadn't slept more than a few hours at a time. Every silence felt like a death knell. And then he started talking to her. Not out of hope, maybe from exhaustion, maybe desperation. "You gonna make it?" he asked one night. Because I can't do this forever. No response. This wasn't the plan. I'm no savior. I just didn't want to see you rot out there. Still nothing. But the next night, as he changed her bandages, her eyes opened. Not the dull, dead stare from before. Focused. Alert. He froze. Hands halfway into the gauze. Her golden eyes followed his movement. No growl, just watching. Okay, he whispered. That's new. He took it as a thank you. By the 8th morning, as he stirred coffee in the kitchen, he heard it. A light, uneven scuff on the concrete. He crept into the garage. She was standing. Shaky, but upright. Her front right leg was lifted, toes curled under. Limping badly, but she had stood. She had moved. She crossed the garage slowly, sat halfway and watched him. He slid the meat bowl closer. She leaned down, took a single bite, and looked back at him. It felt like a handshake. That afternoon, he found a metal splint, elastic wrap, and duct tape in an old first aid kit. No training, just the will to try. That night, he sat beside her with the splint. She growled low. A warning. He waited. She laid her head down, watching. He wrapped the leg carefully. She didn't fight. When it was done, she stood. Slowly, the splint held. That night, he cracked the garage door open, just in case. Around midnight, she was gone. Not far, just outside. Sitting, facing the woods, lit by the porch light. She looked back at him, didn't run. 12 days in, the garage grew too cold. Ryan opened the door to the house, called her once. She stepped in. No hesitation. He laid a blanket near the fire. She curled up on it, silent. He cooked 2 steaks, one medium, one raw. She ate beside the hearth. The next morning, she was by the back door, watching. Quiet, a pattern began. She followed him from room to room, not close, just present. That same day, Michael, his neighbor, stopped by. Retired Army. Loud, always carrying a wrench. Michael saw her. She growled, low and deep. What the hell is that? Michael asked. Found her hurt. She's staying till she's healed. You serious? This ain't legal, Ryan. She's a predator. She's quiet. That's all. Michael left. You need help, he muttered. That night, Ryan locked the front door. First time ever. She slept by the fire again. Then the chickens started disappearing. Neighbors whispered, blamed coyotes. But Ryan knew better. Coyotes didn't leave clean bones. The wild in her was waking. She stopped following him. Watched the trees instead. He made the call. There was a reserve upstate, 100 acres. They agreed. He loaded her into the truck. She didn't resist. They drove 2 hours in silence. The ranger opened the gate. Ryan opened the crate. She stepped out, sniffed the air. He sat beside her. Wanted to say something. Couldn't. She pressed against him lightly, then turned but didn't leave. He left first. Weeks passed, until one night she returned, just appeared on the porch. Sat beside him. Worn, real, no sound, no movement, just presence. When he woke, she was gone. But at the top of the stairs lay a weasel. No blood, no bite. A gift. He never saw her again. But on foggy mornings when the wind is low, Ryan still sits on that porch. And sometimes, he knows she's watching. She didn't just survive. She saved him. What do you think of this story? Let us know in the comments section. I hope you like this story. Please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel. Also subscribe and press the bell icon to never miss the update from our channel. Thank you.